In this video, you're going to learn how to do a Dreamcatcher like the ones behind me. We'll get started right away. The materials you will need for this project are listed in the materials description below. We're going to start by splitting the end of this cord a little bit. I'm going to split it in half. We're going to be wrapping this cord around this ring, all the way around. I'm going to take some Scotch tape, some clear tape, take a little piece, and I'm going to tape this to the ring. Take another piece of tape, just taking the smallest little bit. I've split it so it's just not quite so bulky. You'll see what I mean once we've wrapped this all around. We're just gonna wrap this all the way around the ring. Now you can see I'm almost done wrapping around. I'm gonna overlay this frayed part here. So now once you've covered that up, I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm just gonna cut this end and I'm gonna spread this out a little bit. I'm taking my masking tape, if you can see that there, and I'm gonna wrap that around. See how I didn't quite get it all? So I'm going to take another piece of tape and make sure that's fastened down. Don't worry about this tape. I like doing it this way so it doesn't have this big bulky area if you tie a knot. And this is going to get covered up later with macrame cord as we hang the long dangling pieces. To do the webbing section, I'm using worsted wool. I'm using it because it doesn't really have any stretch. Wrap your worsted wool into a little ball like this. I have that tape section right here, and I'm gonna tie this on right around here, just with an overhand knot. Do that twice. And I'm gonna take a little bit of fabric glue. I'm just going to put a dab on there. We will trim this piece later. I'm just gonna wait for that fabric glue to dry. To make the webbing, we're gonna measure 6 centimeters. Just mark it with my finger. Take your wool, we're gonna go over the ring, around the back, pull this little opening a bit, put your yarn behind, through that opening, and pull it snug. And then take your ruler again, measure another 6 centimeters, mark it with your finger, again over the top, around the back, and then through the opening. And now we're just going to do that all the way around. I'm overlaying the last one with the first one. From this point forward, you're going to take your yarn and you're going to go behind and through and pull. Go to the next one, behind, and through, and pull. And now we're just gonna go all the way around. So we're back at the beginning, you can see the cord there, but we're just gonna keep the same process going around and around. Sometimes you're going to have to pull the opening open a little bit. So right now these are quite loose. We are going to pull them all together and tighten them once we've gotten to a certain point. Now you're gonna just have to gauge this what's right for you, but I'm at about this point. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and then you just pull this together. You see how the cord is here on this side? I'm gonna take this over and I'm gonna go through one right across on the other side. Back through the one that it came from. Hold that tight. And I'm going to hold this string so that when I go through again, come back through the same opening and now go through the loop you've been holding. And now pull that snug. I'm going to put a little dab of glue here. I'm going to trim this. Flip it to the other side. So we have the taped end down at the bottom here, and we're going to cover that up with the macrame cord. So I have 14 lengths cut at 1.5 meters. Take your first length and fold it in half equally. I'm going to the left of the first webbing. I'm going to take the two ends, I'm going to pull that, and then I'm going to pull them through the loop. I'm going to do another lark's head knot to the right of the webbing, come in from behind, pull. When you have your loop, put those ends through that loop and then just pull it all the way down till it's snug. See this little thread poking out? I'm going to trim that now because the glue is dry. We have 12 lengths of cord left. I'm going to add 6 to the right and 6 to the left, all of them using the lark's head knot. This next step, we're going to do square knots all the way across this first row. So we're going to start from the middle point, the one that's either side of this first webbing. To do the square knot, take the cord on the left, over the two cords in the middle, take the cord on the right. You want that over top. You see how this looks like a figure 4? This is going over the figure 4, around, behind, and behind the two middle cords, and then through that loop. And pull that snug. Now take the right side, go over, so it's a reversed figure 4. Take the left cord on top and behind the two center and through the loop. Pull that snug. Now I'm going to make 3 more square knots on this side and 3 more square knots on this side. Now you're going to have 7 square knots. Come to the one in the middle, take the 2 left cords, and then the 2 right cords to the one next to it, and tie a square knot. Do another one on the right. And do 1 more on either side. Now you have 4 square knots. Go the 2 in the middle, and you're going to tie 1 connecting these 2. And then 1 on either side. And now we're going to tie 2 more, 1 here and 1 here. And then 1 more in the center. Flip the Dreamcatcher over. In this next step, I'm going to do another layer of fringe. You can totally omit this if you do not desire to do that. Take the 2 outside cords, bring them down to a point, and do an overhand knot. Fasten that so it's aligned with these other square knots. Now you're going to take the 10 110 centimeter lengths and attach them to this cord using the lark's head knot. You're going to put 5 on each side. Here we have our Dreamcatcher so far. And next I'm going to show you how I cut the fringe. So I'm going to come in here from the shortest piece. I'm going to cut on an angle up and out. I'll do the same thing on this side. To attach the feathers to the Dreamcatcher, we're going to use the 70 centimeter worsted yarn, and we're going to attach it to the end of the feather with the gathering knot, also known as the wrap knot. Place your yarn like this. Make a loop at the bottom, pinch it there, and now with this long end, we're going to wrap around that looped piece several times. Now you're going to take that yarn and from behind, pull it through that loop all the way. While holding this end, pull on this top piece and pull. And you want to pull this little bit at the end in behind these wraps, just like that. Now we're going to trim this end. The other end we're going to attach to the wall hanging. Now do the same thing with these other 2 feathers. Now we're going to attach the feather to the Dreamcatcher. So I'm going to actually tie it from behind. I'm going to tie the first one onto that main knot. Take your yarn, put it over that big knot, down, and then I'm just going to tie it with a double knot. Seen me do this before if you watched any of my other videos or just this one earlier. I'm going to put a little dab of craft glue on the knot, secure it. I'm going to take another feather. I'm going to hang it on the second lark's head from behind and just knot it the same way. Over the top, around the middle. I'm going to pull the feather how I want it, which you can't see, but you will see in a moment. And then do another double knot. A little bit of glue to secure before I trim. Let that dry. And then attach the third feather on the other side. Again, the second lark's head knot in. Align it with the one you just attached. Just gonna trim the excess cord. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. Please leave a comment if you have any feedback for me. If you'd like more content like this, then please subscribe to the channel.